All right. Well, how do we let people in? All right. Well, hello, everybody. Just start off by introducing myself. My name's Chris Taylor, and I'm the founder of the Institute for Equity in International Education, which is basically my interest. I'm very interested in providing access to girls and women to education. So that's the reason for celebrating International Women's Day. And the other thing is that I have a career in supply chain management. I both a practitioner and an educator, so I was very interested to spread the word, and also with a lot of my students being women, it provided an incredible insight into some of the careers which are out there. So the idea of this webinar tonight was basically to talk about those opportunities and the availability. So we'll be talking about what type of careers are available, the experience with some of those careers, and how do you actually get the training of the skills which are necessary for those careers. All right, so I've called it the butterfly effect and international supply chain management, because what's happened is that over the years, and basically since COVID-19 in particular, nobody really knew much about supply chains. I mean, supply chains have been around for a long time, but it was only when there were global disruptions to the supply chains that people started to realise how important supply chains are. So basically supply chains go everywhere, and they connect everybody in the world, even in the farthest reaches of what we would think to be an unknown land. There's probably some government agency or something which is actually helping them. So that's just part of the extended supply chain. The other interesting thing about supply chains is that there's no individual or groups of individuals that actually control it or manage it. So most of the supply chains that we're familiar with probably only go back from, like ourselves as the ultimate consumer, perhaps we'd find out who their supplier, where we buy the product, know where their suppliers are, and possibly the suppliers before that. And that's quite often the extent that people know of supply chains. But there's thousands and millions of supply chains with all these links connected. And basically there's two things that they run on. One is efficiency, and the other thing is cost. So the supply chains need to be low in cost to be able to get the product to the customers at the lowest price. And also there has to be efficiency with the labour, which, if it's not efficient, will just increase the cost of the supply chain, and the timeliness. The other thing too about supply chains is that they're dynamic. So if there is a part in the supply chain which isn't working out, too expensive or not fast enough, it'll be bypassed. And this is sort of just this natural organism which sort of just keeps going and going and going. So what's happened over the last few years, I mean, one of the things is that we've, since 2020, we've found out the importance of international supply chains. And a lot more people are interested in it. And in my experience, and certainly with some of the other educators here, that the number of women who are actually studying international supply chains has been steadily increasing by 30 or 40% every year. And one of the other things which has been happening in the background with supply chains is that they're becoming more and more technology dependent. And it's not so much really about having stuff here. All we need to know is to know where it is and how long it's going to get there. So this is what we've seen with the development of the technology. So it's more about now moving data rather than actually moving inventory or those products which get sold. So we have now a very flexible and inclusive working environment, because international supply chains operate 24 hours a day. It's very easy to find hours which match your lifestyle to be able to work. Whether it's familial responsibilities with taking children to school or picking them up, and there's lots of options for remote learning as well. So it's very exciting what is happening in international supply chains. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is the increasing opportunities of rewarding careers for women. So there was planned to be 9 presenters who absolutely extraordinary women. We'll be talking about the opportunities, we'll be talking about the careers, we'll be talking about career paths, professional support and social support as well. So now we are going to have our first guest speaker, who is Melinda. So Melinda works at Ampol Australia, and she has a very interesting and senior role. So Melinda, tell us about your work.
Thank you for that lovely intro, Chris, and great to be here talking to everybody. I've been working in supply chain now for about 15 years. I know I look so young and youthful, it's hard to tell. I've worked in just about every different part of supply chains. Most of my time I've spent working in retail supply chains. I've worked in category management, buying, replenishment, inventory management, international procurement, and also worked operationally in the highest volume distribution centre in Australia at 2 degrees during COVID. So I've had some quite challenging roles within all different aspects in supply chain. And I think, like potentially a lot of women who are working in supply chain, it was a bit of an accident that my career took that kind of path, and you start with one role and then it becomes really interesting and you discover things that maybe you didn't realise that you're really good at. And for me, that was, I'm very good at understanding processes and how a supply chain links to so many other different parts of the business. And you're very collaborative. You're working a lot with the finance teams, with the IT teams, with the sales teams and all the different parts of the business. And I found out that I was really good at understanding that. And when you discover that about yourself, you're able to kind of see opportunities. I can improve something that will have a financial impact for my business, or improve efficiencies and all of those things that Chris was talking about earlier. And that's really powerful. It's very tangible when you work in a supply chain, that you can make an improvement and you can walk out into the warehouse and see the result of that. Or you can talk to your team and see the productivity improvements they've been able to make in those kind of things. And at the moment, working for Ampol, I've actually got a really unique role in that I'm building a brand new supply chain. So our business is developing electric vehicle charging, and we're building charge stations and home chargers for EVs and different things like hydrogen and all of these different fuels. So I get to build a brand new one from scratch. So that's quite a unique opportunity. You don't often get to start a brand new supply chain when you work in this kind of role. But it's been great.
That's fantastic. So what was the first job that you actually had? Was it had nothing to do with supply chain?
Yeah, well, I worked a lot in frontline retail, so store management and that kind of role. I worked for a lot of fast food places and different things like that. Um, and then my first kind of real dedicated supply chain role was actually what's called a category assistant, working for Woolworths, who's Australia's largest grocery retailer supermarket. And that was great. I was working in the buying team, so that understanding how you select a product and you assess whether a product will be successful and which stores you put it in and how much you put it in and how much you sell it for, and lots of interesting aspects there. So that was my first kind of real jump into supply chain. And for me, it was an admin role. It was an opportunity to work and learn about those kind of things. And it just evolved from there.
That's fantastic. So you've been in it for 15 years now. So what are the changes that you've seen, particularly with the employment of women?
Yeah, well, the biggest changes I've seen in general are technology, as you mentioned before. I've been through so many different ERP systems in all the different places that I've worked, seen them all come through and really seen the way that supply chain has embraced new technologies and driving them through a lot of business and really testing the ground. Even particularly with things like AI and machine learning, you see a lot of inventory systems now that have those kind of capabilities built in, which, they didn't exist not that long ago. So that's one big thing. And the other big thing that I've seen more recently in supply chain is the way that supply chain is able to drive sustainability within a business. Most businesses have strong targets that they want to achieve in terms of all areas of ESG. And again, supply chain has a huge, huge benefit to a business if they can really take hold of that. And I think that that's going to be a huge, huge growth area in the coming years is that real focus on what supply chains can do to assist businesses to meet their sustainability goals. And in terms of women, sorry, Chris.
No, I was going to say that's fantastic. And I was just going to ask you about senior roles for women.
Yeah, I think if I think back to my time working at Woolworths, there was only one really senior level woman in all of the supply chains. There wasn't many around. There's a lot more these days. I can remember working a night shift in a 2-degree warehouse, in a chilled warehouse. And we had 250 team members on the floor that night, and I was the only female in the whole building. That's not the case anymore. There's a lot more females in leadership roles. All of my team, in the early days were male, and then I started to get some women who were especially working night shift. Their husband would work during the day. They'd give the kids dinner, tuck them into bed, say see you later. The women would come to work at 9 p.m. at night, work until 5 a.m., drop the kids off to school, and then have a nap during the day. And my female forkies were my best performers, without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's fantastic. Thanks very much, Melinda. Now we're going to hear from Sakini. Now we're going to hear from Sakini twice, because she's going to tell us what it's like working, living with a career and a family, because Sakini wears a couple of hats, not only a lecturer in international supply chain management, but also somebody involved in ERP systems as well. So how do you balance your career in international supply chain management and your family responsibilities, Sakini?
Yes, Chris. Actually, as you said, I'm in my own experience. If I'm talking, I'm involving in both the industry, working in the ERP industry, and along with that, I'm also working as a visiting lecturer in the supply chain industry. So I'm like doing both. Actually, regarding like how to balance, what I must say is like balancing ISM career along with the family responsibilities. Yes, true, it's a little bit challenging, but it's something which is achievable if you have right planning and right support. That's what I believe. And in my context, as I said, since I'm doing multiple commitments, including full-time working in as an ISM consultant in the ERP industry, and then also doing part-time visiting lecturing with students, and also taking care of my family as a good daughter with my parents. So I'm like I'm just taking myself as an example, but anybody who is in this career, I think the main thing is to have the right planning and right support. And what I always do is I plan my work based on the urgency and importance of the task that I have to do in the day. So, like before starting the day, I usually do that kind of a small mapping, a kind of a small matrix inside my head. In my mind, I just do a small matrix of urgency and importance, and where I place the list of tasks which I have to complete during the day, and then I identify which task should I prioritize, which task should I delegate, or which I should focus later. Likewise, I identify the priorities and do a better planning on the task in terms of balancing family and life.
That's fantastic. That sounds like a full-time job, just organising yourself, let alone doing any work. So what support have you found helpful with both those activities?
Yes, Chris. In my situation, I think I must say that the flexible working patterns. That means since I said I'm into IT industry, I'm just having kind of a hybrid working system where I have opportunity to work from home in certain days, and certain days I have the opportunity to go to work. Likewise, that kind of flexible working patterns, along with the management, subordinates, co-workers, and everyone working with me is understanding my commitments in life is something extremely helpful in my career, especially in the ERP industry where I'm working. I'm having that advantage, I must say. And also, along with that, the support from the other professional networks, and also, most importantly, my family, which is kind of the core support system. They understand all my multiple working commitments as well. Therefore, with the support of all these systems, I believe I can balance my work and life.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So what messages would you have for people who are considering
Uh, yeah, you mean
a
like a
career?
message?
Yeah.
Okay. For that, Chris, I actually thinking that I can give three kind of advices as a message for other women. The first advice I must say is to believe in yourself and be confident with your own strengths. That's very critical. And then the second advice I must say is that it is critical for you to identify the priorities of your life, especially the well being is something which is very critical in finding balance with your work and life. And also, as I have mentioned before, I'm drawing a kind of a simple matrix on urgency and importance of task. Likewise, you can have your own way to prioritize your work, and then you can plan the day in a more effective way. And then the third advice I must say is to train and develop a proper support system around yourself. So when required, don't hesitate and ask help from that support system at your home or at your work. So for example, if I say, let's assume you're stuck at some work in the office and you have some critical work in the office, still you require to ensure, like whether let's say one of your parent at home took medication on time, let's say you have that kind of a commitment. So if you have trained before and communicated someone at home who can get that task done, then you will be able to balance both your commitments at work and at home at the same time. So this is even applicable in work-related scenarios as well. So that training someone along with training and preparing a support system is also something important. So I believe these three advices will help the other women as well to balance their work and other life commitments together.
Yes, yeah, that's all very helpful, Sachini. Um, that's great, because I really think it must be hard, particularly for women with, because a lot of the family responsibilities do fall on the women for not only childcare, but as you were saying too, aged parent care as well. So, and it's hard work for sure, but it's great to see that you're succeeding. All right, now I just like to talk about some of the professional groups which are supporting women in international supply chain management, and we have Associate Professor Catherine Lau with us, who's I've worked with Catherine for many years, and she's been doing some wonderful things with supporting women professionally. Are you there, Catherine?
Thank you, Chris. And this is a great initiative you planned. Thank you for doing this for girls and women around the world.
Oh no, that's great. Yeah, look, it really goes back. Yeah, for me, it goes back to just finding out what was happening with women in Afghanistan and Taliban, and then I suddenly realised what a pretty hard world it is for women in general to get education, but then to get senior positions as well, because it's not about a lack of ability. Quite often, it's just a lack of either support or a lack of confidence, and I think confidence building is one of the things that we need to do for sure. So, sorry, I just lost a page here. My apologies. Tell us about your professional groups that you support in international supply chain management.
There are actually several professional groups. So
Yep.
I will start with the one I align with. So it's called Women Logistics and Transport. So it's under Charter Institute for Logistics and Transport, which is the international professional organization. So under this big umbrella, we do have a women chapter, especially supporting women. And I should let everyone know it's not only in Australia, which I align with, but also it's a global chapter. So we do have, I saw like Mahesh from Malaysia, we do have a chapter in Malaysia and also Sri Lanka and also a lot of other countries. So yes, if actually anyone from the audience want to reach out, just send me an email, or you just search online Women Logistics and Transport, you will find it. But also, I would like to mention also some other groups are available, like Women in Supply Chain, and also the Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals. And also, I think some others like CIPS, Charter Institute for Procurement and Supply Management. All of them are very good professional groups, which are potentially also available in your country. But definitely reach out to us if women in logistics and transport, not only in logistics and transport, because currently it's extended to supply chain. So I should have mentioned this organization, Charter Institute for Logistics and Transport, is available for supply chain related all areas. Yeah.
And what do these how does the group help support women professionally?
Generally, it will support women and also men, of course, but help women advance in our career by offering many industry events and also training programs, but also actually mentoring program and develop courses, like developing courses, professional developing courses. And also very, very importantly, it is a platform for us, for women also come together to share our experience, but also learn from each other and build valuable connections. One example I can mention also is like WILAT I just mentioned. We do have actually career advancement program for people who started work or not yet started work, of course, student, but also in their middle level professional. Sorry, I should say it's like not yet too senior, because I heard that many of you mentioned it's difficult for women step into a senior role, but of course it's getting there. I mean, people getting there, and also I heard the previous two speakers mention we can see more and more women step into the senior role, which is a great thing. So we do have a program called the CAP program to supporting middle level managers to get together and heard the story and experience from the global speakers. So that kind of program really supporting us to step up into a higher or senior role, and also exposed to other opportunities, global opportunities as well. That's also one of the benefits for joining professional group, which is not only the opportunity from local country or local chapter, but also you can be exposed to global network.
Exactly, and I think one of the biggest benefits of being part of a professional group is networking, so that people know your name. So you know, when these jobs come up somewhere, and you know, somebody who's in the professional group applies, and people recognise the name, all of a sudden you're going to move up be into that shortlist, rather than because it's far better to work with somebody that you know or you've heard of, rather than somebody who you haven't. Now that's fantastic. And what role do you see these groups playing in the future with respect to women and senior management?
Definitely, I will say they play a crucial role in the future of international supply chain management. Not only they advocate for the gender diversity and inclusion, but also they provide global opportunity, as I mentioned, but also support our emerging leaders and also our next generation. That's one of the main also key thing those professional organizations are doing, is supporting our future diversity, gender diversity and inclusion, but also our next generation leaders. And also they will, help shape the industry by promoting best practices and also supporting our women's career growth, and of course fostering a more inclusive and incredible work environment.
That's right, yeah, because I think a lot of those barriers for senior management for women is a generational thing. That the existing generation of senior management, because they're not familiar with women being in senior roles, there's sort of a bit of a I wouldn't say resistance, but they're a little bit slow. But once those people retire or leave, and then the new generation come through who are more switched on, like yourself, Catherine. The sky's the limit, I think, for senior management in international supply chain management. All right, well, look, thanks very much for that, Catherine. And now we're going to, oops, excuse me. Now we're going to hear from Ruby just about the study experience for women students. Now, just a bit about Ruby. I've had her in my classes. I'm just amazed how just switched on she is. Her background, she's come from Afghanistan. So I think there's a whole lot of cultural difficulties or changes which have could have made it very difficult, but Ruby has been able to get above that, and she's an exchange student as well. So not only is she go to classes at Victoria University here in Melbourne, but she's on exchange in Malaysia as well. So Ruby, share your experience as a student in supply chain management.
First of all, thank you for having me. As a female student in supply chain management, I have had the opportunity to learn from industry professionals like yourself and also gain valuable practical insights. My studies have provided me with strong foundation in logistics and international supply chain management, empowering me to navigate this traditionally male-dominated field with confidence. I believe this knowledge will be my instrumental in shaping my future career and also contributing to greater diversity in the industry.
That's fantastic. And what challenges have you faced and how have you overcome them?
My main challenges so far has been balancing my studies, planning my future career, and also part-time jobs. So managing my full-time studies while applying for jobs or internships can be challenging, and it has been challenging for me so far. I have addressed this by developing strong time management skills, setting clear goals, and also continuously improving my professional profile through LinkedIn networking, industry events, and also career workshops.
That's great. And so, and with your exchange student, how long are you in Malaysia for? For a semester?
I'm only here for 1 semester. Yes, a semester only.
Are you enjoying it?
I do enjoy so far. I would say the study part of it, it's really similar to Victoria Uni in Melbourne. But other than that, the exploring the new culture, everything, my residence, finding new friends, and I met a lot of people from different backgrounds, and it's really interesting. I really like it so far. There are some parts that are challenging, but there's also some times that I really enjoy it.
Yeah, and I suppose really it really does give you some preparation, some background for doing more in international supply chain management, because you have an
Correct.
idea of some of the other things which are happening around the world as well.
That's right. Yeah.
And how do you see that education is sort of shaping things for future careers in international supply chain management?
Again, as a female student in supply chain management, I see my education as a stepping stone into a successful career. I aim to break barriers and take a leadership role in the field. I am particularly interested in working in multinational supply chain operations and also contributing to sustainable and technology-driven logistics solutions. In the future, I hope to use my expertise to work in an international trade, supply chain consulting, or digital logistics, while advocating for more female representation in the industry.
Indeed, yes. So certainly there's a lot of more digitalisation in the supply chain management, and I think education is going to be a very important part in that, so that people are familiar with what AI is going to do, and just the use of data, big data in particular. That's fantastic, Ruby. Thank you very much for that. And we'll just talk to Mahez. Yep.
Hi, Chris. Thank you very much, Chris. You could hear me, right? Yep.
Yeah. So what education opportunities are available in Malaysia?
Okay, so let's look into this education here. So we have excellent opportunities when it comes to education, especially when you're looking at supply chain major itself. So we have got these top universities they're called as Sunway University, which is attached with Lancaster. We have got Victoria University here, where I'm lecturing at the moment. And having Ruby said that she is here for an exchange program. So I'm happy to hear that Ruby is enjoying this Malaysian culture here, which is good. And these are some universities. But again, if you're looking back 10 years back, if you rewind, you may not find this major. You may not know that this major is even it's even available. But this last week, I went for an education fair, and I would say there's a fair number, about 10 or 15 private and public universities are offering this major. So what we have got in Sunway, which is Victoria University in Sunway, the same bit, it's a training program back in Melbourne that we have it here. So we have got a single major as supply chain as it is, or the students could even pick a double major instead, international trade and supply chain. So it's either major, it's going to be a decent 3 years. So that's one bit. And I would just want to highlight this as well. As what I've just mentioned, 10, 15 universities are offering it already. But what sets us apart from the other universities? So I hear some of them were talking about internship, some, a lot of bits, and I hear the term ERP as well. So what sets us apart, just to highlight, is that my students here are exposed to SAP software. So literally they're an end user. They may not know what's the implementation phase because that's more of a postgraduate level. So for an undergraduate level, they're more of an end user. So they know what's the platform looking like. And again, these graduates, this young woman that's enrolled to this course, they may have that hands-on experience. So that's a great opportunity when it comes to supply chain here in Malaysia, one of the university, which is VU. And I would like to just share some statistics because I did some research on this. So in the past, we could see that in terms of higher education in the year 2023, there was a rise of 50.7% of young women enrolled into a higher education. But again, this is just a general statistics. I'm not able to say that this 50.7 were enrolling to supply chain major. But what I could highlight here is that in terms of the career pathway, let's look from that working in the workforce. The workforce, there was a rise about 40.9%. There was a rise in the workforce in terms of women in the supply chain industry itself. So I think the statistic clearly shows there's a job opportunity for this young woman to be a part of this leadership. And yeah, that's something that I would like to highlight on for this.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I mean, it's just great that women are interested in the course and getting into it.
Yes.
And there's just enormous opportunities out there for women as well.
Yep.
So how can women take advantage of these opportunities to advance their career with the education?
Okay, taking advantage of these opportunities. Okay, I have a few ways in my mind right away. Just going to highlight a couple of them. The first bit is enrolling to a program. I must say, as you have got a certificate with you, you still need a practical. So that's where the internship comes in. So it's not all about, at the end of the day, investing into an education, because we are looking about thousands of students from each university graduating with the same cert. So what sets you apart? The opportunity is all about enrolling, investing into education, and making sure you're enrolled to an internship. That's something I would like to highlight. And definitely, like what Dr. Catherine has said earlier, I think Dr. Catherine was highlighting WILAT a lot. That's a perfect platform. That's a very good platform for women to be a part of an association, which I think it's very important. It's not all about just finishing up a degree and then done with it. It's about joining a network. So that's where you have this networking circle. Like I would say, those participants that turn up for this webinar today, I think that's one step. You're taking one step ahead from the rest. Over on a Saturday, I think most of you are in different time zone, but I'm pretty sure late evening, early morning, so whichever. It's a weekend and you're spending effectively, and that's very good. That's an opportunity that you're taking up already. So enrollment into a course, joining professional network, and internship, as I just mentioned, networking. So these are just a bit, and not forgetting, as what I think Chris and also another colleague Sachini has also mentioned about IT. So what people has assumed in the past, it's always getting your hands dirty. When supply chain, it's all about getting your hands dirty. It's true, but that's just one pathway. How about the other roles when you're looking into ERP for supply chain analyst? But there are so many roles. The demand is there, but the supply isn't there in Malaysia. So there are great opportunities to advance in their career when they take up some of these ways that I've just mentioned earlier. So I hope that answers that question.
No, that's fantastic. And what about women who are considering a career? So obviously start off with enrolling in a course, but any other advice?
Enrolling into a course, besides enrolling, seeking for a mentorship, not forgetting. A mentor is very, very important. So 15, 20 years ago, when I completed my degree, my master's back in Australia, I had a mentor coming from IBM. So this is a practice that VU back in Australia, they has the practice. And I think some of the universities here in Malaysia coming up with the idea. So every graduate in their third year, they're attached to an industry working adult. So whichever line it could be, but if you have a mentor, I think that would be a great start, because they could provide you more guidance, you know where you're heading to. So it's not all about, okay, I'm just going to put up my resume and I'm just going to find up a job just like that. It's not going to be in that platform, but instead you're looking out, you're researching, because there are so many informations out there. It's all about how these young graduates, young women are taking and utilizing the information, because there's too many things out there. So it's just utilizing it and having a mentor. And one more bit I would like to highlight is building the strong network. So I believe that all of us have got Facebook, they may have Instagram. So something that's more professional would be LinkedIn. So having a connection, having a platform on LinkedIn, that would be a great start. We are looking into supply chain. We have hundreds of countries here. And I believe all these panels are coming from different countries as well, different time zones. So that clearly sets us apart, which is a globalized supply chain. So you got to be on LinkedIn, you get connected with everyone from all over the world. So that's just a few advice I could think of. And to all the women out there considering this as a career, just a few lines to just end this up, which is being proactive, staying updated with the latest trends, technologies. What's ERP? So that's one thing. What's ERP? How do you think ERP is going to help for this kind of issues that you have got in a firm? So this is something like third-year students are already aware of, because some of the subjects has this already. So a bit on the application bit is very important. Knowing what's the latest technology that's available. We know what's AI, machine learning, blockchain. There's so many things out there. So it's just getting to know what's your interest and align that to your career pathway. So I guess that's all from me, Chris. Thank you very much.
Yeah. No, look, all that's great, Mahes. The other thing too is to be a member of a professional body, like Catherine was explaining, because one of the things when you put your CV, they often ask you if you're a member of a professional group. And if you could say, yes, I'm a member of, CILT or something, that's going to put you higher up the list of potential candidates. So no, that's fantastic.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Mahes. Now, Tram, what are the just talking about the education in opportunities in Australia? So Tram's with RMIT, and we worked together a couple of times, so that's fantastic. So what education opportunities are available in Australia?
Thank you, Chris. In Australia, actually, we really famous for several and numerous education opportunities for women, and for all area, and especially in logistics supply chain management, including undergrad and postgrad program. We also have professional certification and source course, and university like MIT here. We offer professional and specialized program in supply chain management and logistics, such as we have under program in Melbourne, online in Vietnam, Singapore, Shanghai, and most of the time it takes about 3 years to finish the undergrad degree. And we also have postgrad degree online that you're teaching, right? And also we have the master degree in logistics and supply chain management in Melbourne as well. For postgrad degree, it takes about 2 years. And we also offer the PhD study for 3 to 4 years. It depends on the progress of each PhD student.
Yeah, because one of the things I have noticed with RMIT is the increasing number of female
Yeah.
students who are actually studying supply chain management. I remember probably 10 years ago, out of 30 students, there might have been 2 women, and now it's probably 50%. So there's a lot of interest in it, and I think, like we were saying before, it's not trucks and warehouses anymore. It's about data management and ERP and strategic thinking and all
Yeah.
those sorts of things. So how can women leverage this education that's available with someone like RMIT to build a successful career?
Thank you for your question. Actually, with this question from beginning, we all agree that education is very important for any kind of career and any kind of industry. So women can leverage these opportunity by enrolling in relevant program, and by doing so, we could gaining practical experience through internship. We have several internship, and also participate in industry event and conference. We collaborate with several industry partners here in Melbourne, such as Port of Melbourne. 3 months ago, I took a lot of students to visit Port of Melbourne past trip, and several partners as well. And also they help to provide the internship work-life integrated for students who study at MIT Melbourne. And building a strong academic and professional foundation is very essential for a successful career in logistics and supply chain. And I do believe that all ladies before me already mentioned several times how important it is to combine between the foundation of education and also networking, try to find opportunity and improve yourself to achieve more opportunity to have the successful career in logistics and supply chain.
Yeah, because international supply chain management is just getting bigger and bigger because of the strategies that is involved. And like I was saying before, the driving things are about efficiency and cost. So what you really need is a professional workforce who understands these things. So these are the type of skills that they're picking up from RMIT and other universities here in Australia. I think also because of such rapid change there is in technology, it's also very important for students to keep up with that technology too, isn't it, Tram?
Yeah, obviously, because for example, right now, many in the past, I think the role of women in industry most of the time cannot show clearly, because people think that only very strong men can work in this industry, right? Because we surrounding by the forklift, by the warehouse. Yeah. However, right now with the development of technology and automation is bring a lot of chance for anybody, not only for men work, right? Right now, women could operate the train, as we can see when I go to work every single day. I see a lot of women, they ride the train. So with the technology, it's no problem at all. And with the speed of automation recently, we visit those warehouse or those seaport fully automation. Immediately we realize that the number of women working in industry increasing. And so I think, is either best for us, for women, to have equipped good education and to prepare for the future, because who knows, in the future we're gonna have more and more advanced technology, and the speed of development of those technology amazes us all the time, right? So that's why it's very important to prepare for ourselves. Even for me, many people said that, oh, you're still young in to become a lecturer and work in university. But I said, no, I feel afraid, because sometimes my students, know more about technology more than me. So that's why we keep learning to repair and equip accessory skill, and knowledge to repair. Who knows?
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. Knowing the technology is one thing, but actually knowing what to do with it as well is another thing. So that's a lot of what this education is, the skills which are being built. Thanks so much for that, Tran. Now we'll just speak to Sachini again, just about education opportunities in Sri Lanka.
Yes, Chris. In Sri Lanka, also actually we have several education opportunities in international supply chain and management, open to all qualified individuals, including women. So also there are like degree programs, professional certifications, and other training courses as well in ISCM. And also there are many universities, institutions in Sri Lanka who are offering specialized programs in supply chain management, and also they have majors in supply chain, logistics, transportation, distribution, sometimes in other specific areas related to supply chain like aviation, maritime, and even those areas are covered. And there are much more. So if I just mention few names of these universities, so one like we have both government as well as the private universities offering these kind of opportunities. So one is from University of Moratuwa, where I have studied. I have done my studies in supply chain management, and also we have KDU, likewise few other government universities, and also many other private universities as well offering these opportunities, including NSBM, or the National School of Business Management, where I am doing my visiting lectures. And also there are many other universities including CINEC, ICBM, Ocean University. Likewise, there is a list of organizations like institutions providing these kind of opportunities. So women can actually utilize these great opportunities. And not only that, even they can utilize on online opportunities as well. I just thought to highlight that as well as a point, because if you have already some supply chain knowledge, even you can enhance your knowledge through certain online opportunities as well, just like LinkedIn courses, AI applications related to ISCM. Likewise, there are many other opportunities where you can, if you have the interest, you can find out and study on many of those opportunities. And also, as two of the speakers highlighted, including Professor Catherine as well, that this CILT, the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transportation, as well as WILET, the Women in Logistics and Transportation, both these are also very active in Sri Lanka as well. So whoever the students, not only students, even anybody can in this industry can get the advantage of these professional bodies, so where they can get that ability to do networking, as well as even they offer certain education opportunities as well for the students. And also there are many valuable opportunities like these which can enhance the knowledge as well as the expertise on international supply chain management within Sri Lanka, Chris.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, how would you leverage the courses which are available into a successful career? The same, similar to Malaysia, would there be internships and things like that, or?
Yeah, actually, yes, true. We have many internship opportunities as well, along, like as I said, mention those institutions itself sometimes directly providing students the internships, like with the collaboration with the industry. And even other than that, students also can directly go and apply into those industry opportunities and go as well. Both are there. Like many of the private and the government institutions I mentioned, like many of them, what they do is there is a very tight collaboration between the corporate as well as these universities and institutions, and they directly offer internship opportunities along with their degree program, and make the students good on those areas before they go to the industry. It happens in that way usually.
Yeah, and also the economy is improving a lot in Sri Lanka now too, isn't it? After the trouble a few years ago. So I think that's going to increase the need for international supply chain management again, and it's sort of having the right skills and being in the right place to be able to get these jobs. And how do you see education playing in the future in international supply chain management in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, actually, I believe like the one of the what I mainly see is like the students or the whoever the people in this in ISCM industry, they can actually improve themselves by utilizing these different opportunities. Like when I was doing visiting lectures in Sri Lankan universities, I have seen many passionate women actually in classes that who are utilizing these opportunities and succeeding in their careers in the country. And also, as many speakers mentioned, this right mentorship is also kind of an important thing where these students and they all can improve themselves, and they can know whether they are going in the correct direction and whatever the professional growth they require. And also, as you said, like for the future in the future, I actually see that there is a huge like path for the students and everyone who is coming into the industry. And as again one of the speaker also mentioned regarding this IT industry involvement with ISCM, so I just thought to mention on that as well, because it is also a kind of a trend which I can see in Sri Lanka along with the opportunities, because if I just tell about my career path, then I think it will be something helpful for somebody who is coming into the industry. So I actually educated in supply chain, and I worked in 3PL industry, like in the third party logistics industry, for around 2.5 years. And after that, I stepped into ERP industry, into a Swedish ERP called IFS. There I was working for around 5 years now as a lead consultant. So with that, so what they require is our domain knowledge in the supply chain is being directly used in the ERP development. So likewise, there are many industries available in the country, and also still many more opportunities are growing inside the country for the students and for everybody who is coming into this ISCM industry. Some even do career shifts as well into this industry where they can actually, since there are plenty of opportunities growing up inside Sri Lanka.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, I was a guest lecturer in Sri Lanka last year, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was just amazed at Sri Lanka, and I don't know, there's just a feeling about it. You can sort of feel that that it is moving forward, now after those bad years. I think it's going to be a fantastic future ahead of you people. That's fantastic. Thanks very much, Sakini. And Demetra.
Chris.
Yes, now you've been quietly sitting there in the background listening to these fantastic women, and now we're going to hear from another fantastic woman. So tell us all about career development, career coaching, professional placement in your company, Arama Global Consultants.
Thank you so much, Chris, and what a wonderful session. I mean, it's great to get everyone into one virtual room and discuss all these amazing topics and listen to everyone talk. So pretty much we're a global firm based in Dubai, and we look at things like career development, career coaching, and professional placement. We're very big on that. We do have a lot of courses that really assist people in general, and especially women, career transition, develop their career, especially in things like supply chain management, logistics, and infrastructure. We do a lot of work in the UAE and Central Asia. So we've been lucky enough to we're going to start some really amazing projects, in particular in Uzbekistan, center of Central Asia, really big in terms of development and all that sort of stuff. So pretty much that's what we do. We do have courses that really can help women, because sometimes you know what it is, you're sort of looking on the internet, but you just kind of want everything in one place. So what we offer is like 12-week courses, really nicely spread out, lots of information, very applicable. And obviously we're the type, like I'm the type of person to guide people and so forth. Do you know what I mean, Chris? It's all about, you know, because supply chain management, logistics and infrastructure in general, they're very big areas and people always they're always developing, always wanting to do better, if that makes sense. But yeah, our main industries are infrastructure, supply chain management, logistics, and so forth. So I think I can say it because we've been offered it. We've recently scored a $20 billion project. I'm looking at infrastructure and logistics and supply chain management. And I'm just, everyone's like, oh, yeah, it was amazing because we were offered it, and that Chris, he goes, do you want it? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take a project of that magnitude any day, mate. I was thinking, but the point I'm trying to make is that we do offer a lot of things that can really assist women develop and really enhance their careers. I'm the type of person, I mean, CEO is the title. I'm with people along every step of the way, and I have a very hands-on approach. My team is in total now, there's about 15, 16 of us, Chris. And we're all very specialized in our own area. But we are a global team at the same time. So we have people in Portugal, Australia, US, Central Asia. We do operate. So this is not new for me, but yeah, we do offer a lot of those courses. And in particular, they're very practical and hands-on courses that can really assist people. And I'm all about the practicality. Sorry, Chris.
But it's just interesting about Uzbekistan. I mean, that just shows you how big international supply chain management can be. That there's new cities being built that don't have any infrastructure, that don't have any supply chain structure at all. They just need a whole lot of really intelligent women just to go in there and sort of fill all the jobs.
Yeah, Chris, just quickly. We went to Technopark, an example of international supply chain management and logistics at its best. And I was like, why are they taking me to a park? We're going to see the park. I kid you not, everyone, we walked in there. It was a small city of warehouses, of manufacturing, the logistics of it, setting things out. I was just in awe about how, where the offices were, the processes, where people sat for lunch and dinner and whatever. They've got contracts with Siemens, with European companies. And I said, jokingly, Chris, I said, mate, it's a small city. And he started laughing. And 5,000 people are employed there.
Yeah,
there's about
amazing.
Like A to D, and they're big warehouses. Like, we had to take a little golf cart to go around, which was very interesting. But yeah, so I thought, well, it's definitely not a park.
Yeah. So how do you feel that women who are studying international supply chain management can sort of turn that into a career in somewhere like the United Arab Emirates or Uzbekistan or something like that? Is it about networking?
Networking, definitely. Really leverage your networks. LinkedIn, take every opportunity that you can. Ask questions, talk to people. I always say talking is not illegal, so you can talk to someone, and you do not know where that's actually going to lead you. And of course, because Uzbekistan and Central Asia, the country is based on trust, it's important to try and leverage your network with someone that's from there, and he can introduce you to other people as well, if that makes sense. So if I just sort of rocked up and went to Tashkent and went, I'm here, they would have gone, who are you? What's a go? Very nice, very friendly people, very friendly, very rapidly developing economy. I was in awe for 1 week. I just could not believe what my eyes were seeing. I was like, wow, this is not done. Europe, they showed me different technologies, different ways of manufacturing, and I'm like, we don't even do that in Europe.
Yeah. But
very localized.
If you've you've developed the skills, you've learned the skills. I mean, it's obvious that it's places like Uzbekistan and the United Arab Emirates are actually looking for people with those skills. And the thing about international supply chain management is that it is international, and there's a lot of work that can be done remotely or from different offices. Say here in Australia, it can be running businesses in Central Asia and things like that as well.
They're in great need of people that specialize in logistics, in supply chain management, big warehouses, and we're talking, Chris, not the little warehouses in Melbourne.
Yes,
Going, oh, this is just the standard warehouse, and I'm like, this will fit like 1,000 people in here. I said, you thinking is this small? I said, this is big. They're in need of a lot, and in particular health infrastructure as well. So your logistics, managing the medicine and all that sort of stuff. But you know, leveraging your networks, and they're very open and very supportive of women entrepreneurs. Very, to the point where I went, wow, they're like, there should be a role model in terms of how open they are towards you know, female CEOs, and very keen and very respectful people. And Dubai as well.
That's fantastic. Well, look, we've actually come to the end of the presenters, but I was just going to see if we can do just a question and answer if anybody has some any questions that perhaps they could put them in chat and we can answer them. I hope they're working.
I thought I just want to add, I've got 2 young children as well. So whoever says mums can't.
Yes, they're sort of busy. I don't think we've got any chat. So look, I want to thank each one of you very much for sharing a little bit about your career, you know, the troubles and that you know, perhaps you've had, the insights that you've put forward as well. And look, I just hope it's inspirational for you know, women who are looking for a very rewarding senior career. You know, actually doing stuff which is really important. And I think international supply chain management is the way to go. We've had a discussion about what courses are available, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, here in Australia, and discussions about what some of the great jobs are, and also the opportunities in United Arab Emirates as well. So look, thank you all very much for coming, and thank you everybody for watching as well. So this has been recorded, so it'll probably end up on YouTube somewhere, but I'll send you copies anyway. So look, thank you very much, everybody. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and thank you so much for your time. All right, we'll see you later.
Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Have a good
everyone.
night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good weekend.